All right, Kate. So last week on the show, we were talking about water apps or tracking your water or something.
Yeah.
And we got a message from Rhonda. Got my new water bottle after listening to you the other day. LOL.
Yeah.
And it is, it's in our show notebook there.
Okay.
It says water bottle. And I wanted you to look at that and
yes, Rhonda.
Tell us what you see there.
Okay. So it's a water bottle with different time variations and motivational encouragement. So at 8 a.m., it's filled. You're ready to go. 10 a.m., have some more. Noon, keep drinking. 2 p.m., halfway, bravo. Is that, I can't, 4, keep it up. 6, almost there. 8 p.m., you've got it. Yes.
So it is a massive of water bottle.
It's a big one. Rhonda, well done, because this is what I did over the weekend. I got a gallon jug of water, and then I got the quart bottles, you know, the tall, skinny bottles, and I would fill my empty bottle from the gallon because I think the gallon's intimidating. So I'd fill it into a smaller, and then during commercials, when I was being a lazy bum on the couch, I would drink my water, and I got a gallon done a day that way. So here's the real test now that we're at work, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got to make a drinking game out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A water drinking game or an alcoholic drinking game?
Water. Because it's the New Year's.
Okay. Because this water bottle that she shared, this looks like uncomfortable to hold.
Well, maybe she could clip it onto her belt loop. Doesn't that look like a clip there?
Let me see.
I think it looks like she doesn't have to keep refilling it like I am, which I think is smart. I love the motivation.
I get tired looking at it.
I get tired. Oh,
yeah. It's a 64-ounce bottle.
Yeah. Which is what we're supposed to do a day, right? 64 ounces?
I guess. I assume roughly. So, since this bottle is branded this way.
Yeah. I like the motivational on there. Ready to go. Have some more. But I think if you make it fun, then it's not so... Like every time I say I should have to take a drink.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of funny if they put, because at noon it says, keep drinking. And then at 2, halfway, bravo. It'd be nice if at 1 p.m. it said like pee break or something like that.
Nice. Because you're going to have some. That's for sure.
Yep, have some pee breaks.
See, I try to, this has it done by 8 o'clock, and I try to be done by like 5 o'clock. Because...
Oh, yeah.
You're not up all night.
Yeah, you've told me before how you dehydrate yourself before you go to bed.
It's strategy. Mm-hmm.
God, but don't you ever get thirsty?
I might have a couple of sips, but like last night I really had probably 10 ounces left, and it was 8 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm going to pay for this later. And I chugged it, and it was up at 3 a.m. Paid for it.
God, stay hydrated.
I know.
Isn't that a time you get up anyway? Like naturally, isn't that like at the end of a sleep cycle? Doesn't that match up with when one needs to pee?
Me personally or people?
People.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I don't think it's me, but...
Okay. Assumed every time that I had to get up to pee in the middle of the night, it's probably a time I would have naturally... It's not necessarily interrupting my sleep cycle. I don't know. I may be overthinking this or underthinking.
Well, when I get back to bed and I'm just laying there listening to the waves going, anytime now. Back to sleep. Come on now. Nope. Still awake.
Yeah.
And I start rolling some Hail Marys, and I think it might be the way to get me to say some Hail Marys because I'm doing it extra long. But
there you go.
There are worse ways to fall asleep, right?
Than praying to God? Yeah.
I'm saying Hail Marys, counting sheep with my rosary. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, or praying to, I'm sorry, does that count as praying to God now that I think about it?
No, it does.
You praying to Hail Mary?
Mary's an intercessor.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're praying for people. Yeah. But it's also, I feel bad because when I was a kid, that's how I counted sheep. My mom would be like, go say some Hail Marys. And now as a grown up, if I have to attend anyone's rosary, like even my own grandmother's, it was like fighting back the yawns because I was like, it's sleepy time now.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Nar prayer.
Hail Mary, let me fall asleep.
I put a thing in there that says jeans, !
Okay.
Which I think would be a funny thing for you to look at.
I'm looking at jeans. Please, what is happening with jeans? I know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
This should be a regular segment on the show, Kate. Kate describes a photo. All right, what's happening in this one?
Okay, so these are jeans, which kind of have the mom jean waist, like they come up high, long crotch. And these aren't just bell bottoms. These are wide leg. Matt could fit in one leg. I could fit in the other. These are the jeans that would kill me, Matt, and not like from discomfort. These are the jeans that I would trip on.
Right.
Because the legs are so wide. Like there's more jean fabric here than a tablecloth. I don't know what's happening with jeans. I'm not cool enough. I'm going to keep my skinny jeans. I'm just going to show my age, I guess, with my puffy vest and skinny jeans and my side part. And I don't know. Give me another one.
Yeah, it looks like it's a hybrid, right? Like a half skirt, half jeans.
Yes.
Like a denim skirt jean combo.
Yes.
Abomination.
She's missing a wooden apple necklace and like terrible jeans. I just can't get over how much. Like that's when jeans are like $100. You know why they're $100? Because of look at all that fabric. There's a ton.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Yep.
I just can't handle it, Matt. I'm not cool.
No
not
mom
cool.
jeans. No mom jeans for Kate.
No.
Which are I guess they're no longer mom jeans then. They're tween jeans or something.
Ugh.
Right?
I guess.
Who are the Gen Z jeans? Gen Z jeans?
Maybe. I don't understand it. If it's going for comfort, I still don't get it because I don't think they're comfortable, but like they're not flattering.
Oh, the mom jeans?
Yeah. I don't think they're flattering. That's just me.
I don't think so either. I don't get it. I don't think they're flattering from any direction.
Nope.
But we're not fashion experts here on Matt and Kate. Okay, we kind of are actually.
I mean, I'm rocking my leggings and new tennis shoes and a t-shirt and hoodie, so.
Kate's got new shoes.
Matt, I got the starter pack for the New Year's. I got 2 new pairs of running shoes, a new Fitbit, and a new treadmill.
See, I was going to say the guts on you getting new shoes. With, as now we have snow on the ground.
I know.
Finally. You're going to get them all messed up, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right. You actually want to use the running feature.
I got to break them in a little bit
of
before.
The shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're hideous. Have you noticed these things? They look like I'm going...
No.
They look like I'm going to Jazzercise. There's a reason these are on sale. They're like light gray and baby pink. And maybe like someone's grandma would look really hip walking the malls in these things. But they were on sale. And if I'm just going to use them for running, they don't have to look cool. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I told myself when I hit buy.
So once you break them in a little bit more, you'll stop wearing these fugly shoes except to run, or what?
Yeah, right. I just had to break them in a little bit because did I tell you that I signed up for a race?
I knew that you were thinking about it. I think at last check you were looking to maybe complete a 3-mile run by the end of this month or something. Maybe that was just a hypothetical. I forget.
Yeah, I've kicked that into high gear because by the end of this month I should be running 4 miles. So, yeah, I decided to put my money where my mouth is, and I signed up for a race, and I started, quote unquote, training yesterday. And so I broke in the other pair of shoes already. So now I'm breaking this pair in before I get on the treadmill tomorrow to run. So I don't think that you'll see these these shoes again. They're going to be like just boring old running shoes.
Yep.
Yep.
Buried at the house next to the treadmill.
Exactly.
Are you not going to run outside any? I forget.
I hate running outside. I probably should.
Obviously you will for the race, but...
Right. I hate it, though. Hate it.
Because it's boring?
Yes.
And you can watch
it's away
TV
from
at home?
A bathroom and, no TV.
What's the point?
Mm-hmm. And I found that if I only watch the shows that I want to watch when I'm running, then I have to run or I can't watch the shows. Doesn't that make sense?
Oh, so the way that you hold yourself accountable for running is to allow only certain shows to be viewed while running?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you watching? Some murder shows?
Oh, well, I'm watching Yellowstone right now.
Oh, yeah, I hear that's good.
Trying to get caught up on Yellowstone because Monty's way ahead of me. It is good. It is good. And the prequel isn't bad either. We started watching the prequel together.
What's the prequel?
1883
okay.
On Paramount Plus with Sam Elliott. I mean, let's face it, that's the reason I'm there, Sam Elliott.
Oh, Sam Elliott.
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill are also in it. And Tom Hanks was there for a hot second.
Wow.
And Billy Bob Thornton was there for a minute, too.
Where do you view this?
Paramount Plus.
For both of them? Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
No.
Paramount Plus is 1883.
Oh, okay.
And I think Yellowstone is on the Paramount Network. So if you have cable, you could watch it there.
Oh, God.
But I'm currently watching it on Peacock.
Too many services, Kate.
I know, Matt. I know. I looked at my banking statement the other day on January 1st, and I saw like 4 streaming services bill me. And I was like, I don't watch that one. I don't use that one. I only keep this one around for one thing. And so I was like, oh well. It's just money, Matt. It's just money.
You're right. Well, I mean, come on. Compare it to what cable used to cost. Still
right.
Still not that much, right?
Correct.
Doesn't take too awful much to get you there, though.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Goonies on HBO, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think it's still. I think Sloth is an acceptable character.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
What about the? What do you think about the housekeeper?
Yeah.
And how Mouth talks to the Hispanic housekeeper.
Yeah. Do you think that's stereotyping, or?
I don't think personally. I'm just wondering if that's one of the things that they said that Goonies does not stand up well.
Now, who said this? Who told you this?
Who said that? I believe it was John Q Internet. No, it was something on BuzzFeed.
Oh, okay.
Movies that we all loved that don't stand up as well 10, 20 years later.
Okay. I thought it was pretty good, but it's probably because I watched the movie a lot when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I introduced my children to it, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and it's nice over the holiday, because I was wanting to watch some Christmas films, so I hopped onto the Apple TV and went to the movie deal there, and I was like, do I really want to pay $10 for Christmas Story or Christmas Vacation or whatever? And then I thought, why don't you go over to HBO and see what movies are available?
There you go.
And sure enough, they both were there.
There it was.
Yep.
We watched the Christmas Story. I shouldn't say the Christmas Story because Ralphie's a little bit different than Baby Jesus in a manger. But
oh, okay.
A Christmas Story. We watched that while we opened presents.
Yeah. You have it on the 24 hours?
We did not.
Oh,
nope.
okay.
We just watched it. It was weird. It was the first Christmas where it wasn't like on round the clock.
Yeah, we had it on at my parents' house, and then my brother Tom, arrived as it was already mid-film, and then the film ended and it started over again, and he was like, are we really going to watch this again? I was like, well, we haven't really watched it all the way through. Okay.
Yeah, Tom, geez.
Yeah. Grinch.
Right? Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic.
Yeah, I saw someone point out they don't think it's cool to put the Grinch behind bars. Don't
put the Grinch behind bars?
Yeah, like a police department, like, look, we got him. and put him behind bars. And it's like, well, he gave the presents back. Did he not redeem himself? I guess he was a thief.
Oh, gotcha.
I guess even if you steal a bunch of stuff, even if you apologize or give people their thing back, they still throw you in jail for it. So, never mind.
Don't do the crime unless you're willing to serve the time.
That's right. What's that from?
I don't know.
Okay.
An 80s commercial. Just say no. I don't know.
I learned it from watching you, all right?
I learned it from watching you.
Parents who use drugs have kids who use drugs. So make sure you hide your drug habit real good.
Real good. I was trying to think of other 80s commercials, and the only thing I could think of was only you can prevent forest fires. I'm like, nope, not connected.
And
Smoky.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Fried egg?
Man.
I'm hungry for eggs.
Man.
Any other 80s commercials you can think of, Kate? I'm trying to think.
I think of the milk commercials where they like morph as the kid's body.
Oh.
I'm Mikey. I'm 8 years old.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm going to keep drinking milk. And someday I'm going to be this college athlete. I don't know.
Okay.
See? Should have stopped.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? I mean, that's kind of the story of my life and my mouth. Should have stopped.
For whatever reason, it's always the PSAs that stand out more than anything, like don't climb trees near power lines. Do you remember that one?
Oh, no.
Kid's up in a tree, and he goes, make sure you stay away from trees near power lines, because if you touch it, that can hurt. It may even kill you. That's the line I always remember.
Good Lord, Matt.
What?
I don't remember that one. I mean, call before you dig, but that doesn't really affect the kids.
Yeah, don't climb trees near power lines. Apparently that was an issue once upon a time.
Okay.
I mean, it still is. Electricity still functions the same way.
I mean, I only climb trees near power lines. So.
Is that right? 'Cause that's the only way you can feel alive anymore?
Yes. Will this branch shock and kill me? Or nope.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Gets the adrenaline going, yeah.
That is one thing that I spent a lot of time doing in my childhood was climbing trees.
Oh, yeah?
That my children have like zero clue about climbing trees. And Elliot she's 9, almost 10, but she's the one who's like expressed some interest in it. And yet I'm still like, yeah, I haven't gone actively looking for trees for her to climb.
Yeah, and your neighborhood's too new, right?
Yeah.
No tree climbing trees in Kate's neighborhood.
My mom has a tree, but it's not a great climbing tree. She climbed it one time and she's like, Mom, and I couldn't even see her. I'm like, okay, time to come down. Too high.
Yeah, I was never a big tree climber myself.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm easily scared of heights too, though.
I loved it.
I cannot make it very high up the stepladder, Kate. I'm like, whoa, this is dangerous.
Whoa. I'm with you though, because I had to climb the ladder. Monty was on the roof doing Christmas lights, and I had to climb something up, and I couldn't go all the way. Like I just was like, I'm gonna just stretch as high as I can, and you're gonna have to lean off the roof to get it. Yeah.
When are the lights coming down?
Well, the wise men aren't there yet.
Yeah, when's that? The 6th?
The 6th.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one of my neighbors reached out after Christmas, before New Year's.
Was it Kim?
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. She reached out to just check in on us and how's it going? And I loved your Christmas lights. And then later on when I was like, couldn't sleep, I was like, do you think Kim is reaching out to be like, take down the lights, it's after Christmas? I don't think she's like that.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
That's not the Kim I know.
Right.
Secondhand from a handful of stories from you.
Yeah, Kim, I don't think Kim's like that. But it's real cold. So I know I'm not climbing up there to get them down. And
Well, you'll just not plug them in, right? Or you'll unplug them?
I don't even know where they're plugged in. They're on a timer. They're plugged in somewhere.
Oh, look at Monty. So good at hiding things from you, huh?
I know.
You have no idea where your lights are plugged in.
I mean, I could probably go outside and find it, but it's real cold.
Yeah.
But there's still people in our neighborhood with lights on.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I think you're right.
Okay.
I had never.
The nicer houses still have their lights on, so come on.
I think it's allowed.
We're not trashy.
I think it's once you approach the, I don't know, midway through the month. I don't know. I've never been one to glare at people's houses because the lights were on too late.
I know. My mother-in-law got a nasty note from their HOA that their lights were on too early. And it was Thanksgiving weekend. And it was a really nice weekend, so they put their lights out. They got a nasty note.
Good old HOAs.
I know. Good old Shawnee.
As discussed previously on Matt and Kate.
Shawnee on the greens.
Oh, highfalutin.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to live in those apartments.
Look at you.
Did I ever play golf? No.
Check out the old apartment on Kate.
I know. It faced K7, so, it was real fancy.
So I deliberately used the phrase highfalutin right there because you had mentioned it yesterday. Highfalutin in the dot,
Highfalutin in the dot?
Yeah, you were talking about Wyandotte County.
Yeah. The dot.
Highfalutin in the dot. And I was like, I love that phrase, highfalutin in the dot. So I was going to make that, for the unfamiliar, Matt and Kate is available in podcast form. Free in your podcast player of choice. Go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or at kj1055.com. And each podcast is titled something out of context from our show. And so I looked up, I typed down, I type down the phrases as I hear them when I'm editing the show after the fact. And Kate says highfalutin in the dot. And I was like, oh, that's a great phrase, highfalutin in the dot. So I looked it up. Do you know how to spell highfalutin?
No, I thought you were going to ask me how to spell the dot, and I'm just making sure you spelled the dot right.
Oh, okay, because I had to think about that one a decent bit, too.
Yeah.
So highfalutin is one word. Did you know that?
I feel like I would know that. Okay.
I thought maybe it was high space falutin. I thought maybe falutin was a word. But no.
Like high, H-I-G-H?
Yeah.
Okay. Not like hi.
Highfalutin.
Falutin. Okay.
Highfalutin, Highfalutin, in the dot. I spelled dot. I'm getting very nervous here.
Mm-hmm.
With apostrophe, capital D, lowercase O-T-T-E.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
That's how you do it.
Did it. All right.
Highfalutin, I would have gone with a double O instead of a U. Well done. Well done.
A double L instead of a U?
A double O.
Double O.
I was guessing.
Oh, highfalutin. Yeah, I think I spelled it correctly, but spelled it two words.
Okay.
And then I was like, I need to look this up. And then I was like, oh, highfalutin's one word. I need to be using that more.
No kidding.
So, highfalutin. And the definition was really funny. Let me see if it's highfalutin. See, I just typed it. Naturally, I just typed it as two words there again. Pompous or pretentious. Affectedly genteel, pretentious, haughty, snobbish. Self-important, pompous, arrogant.
Haughty. H-A-U-G-H-T-Y.
There you go.
Not haughty, H-O-T-T-I-E.
Yeah, we're not talking about me. We're talking...
Yeah, haughty.
Haughty. Yeah, I guess you ever get that A-U-G-H sound in there. It's a lovely noise. Arrogant or egotistical, tending to show off or hold oneself in unduly high regard.
Which is funny, is that is not at all how I think of people in the dot either.
No.
Oh, I love the dot. Good times in the dot.
You in the dot.
I love the dot.
You just like saying the dot, don't you?
I do.
It is funny.
One of my favorites was KCK, We Don't Play. Oh, gosh, I love the dot.
Yeah, for the unfamiliar, there is a county called Wyandotte. And at some point in time, everyone decided that, nope, you're called the dot. And I'm not sure when that was. It's been a very long time.
Mm-hmm,
I don't remember it not being called the dot. And this gives us an opportunity to do our periodic reminder that in Kansas, they put the county right there on the plate. In Missouri, you just have to kind of guess.
Well, Kansas, it's the abbreviation.
Right, the abbreviation of the county, right.
Yeah, so sometimes you do have to guess. You're like, BR. What's
what's
BR?
that? Right. Because what is BR? Barton?
Is that Bourbon? Is that Brown? Was it Butler?
Barton?
Sorry.
Is it Barton? Do you know?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Brown.
Like Johnson is J-O, right? And Wyandottes, WY. But what you do, if you're on the Kansas side, Wyandotte drivers. Or whichever county you don't live in, if you encounter someone that is a bad driver, like, oh, yep, there they are.
It's because they're from a different county.
Johnson County driver. That's right.
LV. Yep.
But, yeah, it's a fun way to judge drivers instead of just, Kansas drivers or, Missouri drivers or, Nebraska drivers. Like, you can get county level specific.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's ridiculous that, Kansas cars only need the license plate on the back, not required to have one on the front. But in Missouri, you got to have it on both ends.
But we were talking about this before when we were driving through Nebraska. Do you notice license plates in the front?
No, that's why I think it's a tremendous waste of money and resources.
Oh, I thought you were saying that they should have license plates in the front.
No, I think
Thank you. I'm like, I don't get it.
I think it's dumb.
I think it's dumb too.
I mean, I guess if you have a novelty plate or something, that might be something you would like, but otherwise it's pointless, stupid. You should cut it out. Cut it out.
Does Missouri require front and back?
Yes, Missouri requires front and back.
Kansas is just back.
Kansas is just back. Nebraska
is front and back.
Nebraska's front and back too? Wow, crazy. Why are we doing this? Yeah, next time I like putting a name tag on your chest and on like your shoulder blade. Why do you need a second tag? I'm totally hurts my brain. But whatever. Anyway, drivers, am I right?
Am I right? Matt, we talk about McDonald's a lot.
Yeah.
And we talk about some of the newer items or other McDonald's internationally doing things. So there's a McDonald's in Japan. There's not a McDonald's. There's several McDonald's in Japan.
I imagine.
McDonald's in Japan debuted a new item called the McBeef Stew Pie.
McBeef Stew Pie.
Well, I added the Mick. It's just called Beef Stew Pie, but it's McDonald's, so it's got to be the Mick, right?
Or Steve what's it? What is it again?
Beef Stew Pie Mac. Should that what it be?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Beef stew pie. Beef, potatoes, carrots, and vegetables are nestled inside a pie crust. So it sounds like a beef pot pie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But McDonald's, do you serve that with French fries or?
Probably not. You get that independent of that kind of food item, maybe. Right? Too much starch?
I would think that I don't know that would have a great, I don't think it's going to have the McRib following, right?
Because, well, I don't know. Different culture, right? So maybe.
Right?
Maybe the meat pie is the McRib equivalent for Japanese people. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe that is their McRib.
Neither one of those items. Actually, I don't want either. Especially the McRib, though. Put them both in front of me, I'll have that pie.
You'll have the pie?
That McRib? No, I don't want that McRib.
I like how it describes that they're all nestled inside a pie crust.
Yeah, it does sound very like they're tucked in for the night or something.
Right, before you wolf it down.
Yep. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's going to go very far here in the States if they tried that out.
I forget, you have or have not had a McRib?
Have not.
Okay, yeah, me neither. I just assembled them back in my days working McDonald's and then just glared at it while I was doing it. Like, what's wrong with you?
And you were never curious? You were never like...
No, it's...
No? Okay.
I think I can recall how it was prepared. Yeah. There's just something weird, like wrong about... Okay, go with us on this. Here is a sandwich shaped like ribs, which you cannot... In ribs, you typically can't just eat the entire rib. You know?
Right.
So it's a sandwich that makes zero sense.
But you put barbecue sauce, onions, and pickles.
Slather it.
And people love it.
Slathered. Kate.
Slathered.
Yeah, I just couldn't get past. Like, I've seen it without sauce also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That might do it.
Like a gray kind of thing.
That might do it.
And I'm sorry if I'm ruining the McRib for anybody. I didn't mean to. It just kind of happened.
I think the McRib camp is very set in their camp.
They love it. Yeah. They're very...
I don't think anything you're saying hasn't been said before.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure they've heard it, right?
Yeah, you're right. Head down. They're not deterred.
No.
Yeah, I salute them. And it's interesting because if you enjoy the McRib, it seems like potentially you need to tell everybody whenever you order a McRib or consume one. Right?
Really?
I think so. I think it's a very loud minority of people like the McRib.
Okay.
And they love to evangelize on it. Maybe because they want the McRib to be a year-round sandwich instead of a seasonal one.
I could see that they are campaigning for the year-round McRib.
Right. Yep. Not going to happen. Nope. I could go for some pickles, though.
I do like pickles.
And they're on the McRib. I suppose if you gave me a McRib, I'd pick the pickles off and eat those.
Okay. I'd scrape the onions off because I don't want the onions.
So you would eat the McRib?
I don't know. I haven't before.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like pickles, but I don't know if I like pickles enough to try the McRib.
Oh, man. Yeah, these guys are talking trash on the McRib, and they haven't even eaten one. What's wrong with them?
And they haven't even tried it. I know.
You're right. Don't knock it till.
I know. Maybe that's what we do the next time the McRib comes around. You and I have to split one.
Okay.
Just to say, we've tried it. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Just don't want to ruin my. I do not want to ruin my overall love of McDonald's, though. You know what I mean?
You think a bite of the McRib is going to be like, that's it, McDonald's, we're done for forever?
Too far, McDonald's. Later. Okay, probably not.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since I've had legit McDonald's other than fries, and I'm still like, I see you, double cheese. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Hey, that's good protein right there.
Right. And the way they melt the cheese, it's just...
Loving it.
Yeah. I'm loving it. That's right.
Ba-da-ba-da-da. Yeah.
I'm even more willing to like try that stuff because of their spokespeople.
Not us. We are not official spokespeople for McDonald's. We just happen to give them free advertising constantly on this show. Except that wasn't a very glowing review of McDonald's, right? That time, at least.
Right.
You know?
That was, we're not sure about this sandwich.
Yeah, this McRib, I don't know, guys.
Brian Cox. That's who I was trying to think of.